All right, so we've made it to Rome, and here with Joey. Nick's in the shower. It is Thursday morning here, Wednesday afternoon for you guys back home. Um, we got in around 1 o'clock our time.
Yeah, 1:30.
Yeah, plane landed around 1. We made it to the hotel. It took forever. Driving in Rome is ridiculous. There's not a really good public transportation network here. I think Joe put it in a really good way earlier today. The city is not built like a grid. It's just path of least resistance. But I guess when it was built 3,000 years ago, they didn't expect to need things like, you know, subways and public transit and whatnot. So we paid for a car service to pick us up from the airport, from the hotel, and they they picked us up, thankfully, and the drive itself took over an hour because of traffic and just the insane way people drive here. There's just like chaos. Very glad we did not have to be doing that. I've never felt uncomfortable in a car driving around. I've driven around cities all over the world, and this is one that I don't think I'd be wanting to do. Um, so we got into the hotel. We were supposed to go to the Vatican this afternoon. Um, so that got canceled for the second time on our trip because of time, because it just took forever. We got there 8 minutes after it closed for the last tour group. So we weren't able to do that. So instead, we walked around the outside walls and made it to St. Peter's Square and saw the basilica from the outside and kind of did that, which was nice. Following that, we found a cool little place to eat dinner. By that point, it was going on 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, going on 6 o'clock, which is early for Rome in terms of dinner. It was hard to find a place that was actually serving. They all close. Everything closes in the middle of the day, especially restaurants. Um, so we kind of walked around, sat, and then finally got to eat. Had an amazing meal. Um, Nothing remarkable in terms of uniqueness. I had gnocchi, and it was delicious. Joe and Nick both had kind of like a play on carbonara. We had some appetizers and some wine. It was delicious, and it was really a really good way to kick off the trip in terms of cuisine, of actually being in the nation. Yesterday's cuisine was pretty good, but we'll post about that later or early. Same time, I don't know when it's. I don't know the pattern of how these are going to hit the web. Um, so after that, we decided to do a walking tour of the city. We have been using the TripAdvisor apps, which are cool. They have some really nice city guides. And there was a really highly rated walking tour called Rome at Night. So it wasn't exactly dark, so we kind of took our time getting started, and we basically just uh, walked for the next almost 6 hours, um, and saw some really amazing stuff. There's some things about this city that are hard to truly put into words because, for one, the age, and two, the immensity. I kept thinking to myself, I wish I had some way to represent this scale. We would like walk out of these alleyways of these very tight, narrow streets, and then all of a sudden there's this giant ruin of ancient Rome, and it's this massive place, and the same thing would happen, and instead of a ruin, it'd be this ancient building that was just massive in size, whether it's a monument or a museum now. Just so unlike anything you see really anywhere. And it was really interesting. And then as it started to get darker, we got to see the way that some of these buildings are lit up at night, and it was great. We really took our time with it, and we saw we stopped at all the big ones. So we saw St. Peter's Square, and then we saw um, the some of the famous fountains, and then we saw the Colosseum and whatnot. I'll post a bunch of pictures, and as I post them, I'll hopefully be able to tell you what exactly they are, as I can remember it. Um, but really beautiful. Really hope to get to come back here at some point and see the city for a longer time. almost 2 days were knocked off the trip because of the fiasco getting here. But we really made the best of a short day here. Tomorrow we go to Venice. Traveling in the morning, we'll be there around lunch. And we're going to spend the whole day there, which is exciting. So I'll update you as that goes on. Some final thoughts about the city as a whole. Very little Western influence in terms of like the West that we know, the United States. Um, Whether it's age or them protecting their history or just lack of interest, there's not any. The stores here are all either local to Rome or mom and pop. I saw in the whole trip walking around. What do you estimate how far we walked today?
5-7 miles.
Yeah, I mean, 5 to 7 miles around the city, which is an immense amount of distance to travel. Uh, Never saw a McDonald's or anything. No Starbucks. No American stores anywhere. We did see a couple signs directing to a Burger King and a McDonald's. We saw one Burger King driving in on the way, but there's nothing. It was just all very local flavor and fare. It was really cool. The whole attitude of the city is just really chill, and um, we took our time with dinner, and just everybody just seems to take it in. And whether they're locals or foreigners or travelers or pilgrims or whatnot, it just seems that everybody really is just kind of working at their own pace, and everybody's polite and respectful, and it's been great. English assistance has been all over the place. Um,
Italian assistance has been poor.
cool.
People coming up to me asking me for Italian
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, Joe got asked some questions in it. Apparently, they think he's a local, so which is exactly the opposite of what I would have expected. He got questioned for some help, but he was not able to give it. So, but anyway, I hope you guys are having a good time back home. I know we're having a great time here. So, thanks for watching.